Hi everybody, this is Spirit Medium Laura, and this is the first lesson in the class or course called Soul Alignment for Abundance and Mediumship. This is step 1 for the law of attraction to work better in your life. To prepare, please review the introductory video to the entire course called Soul Abundance, which is hot linked in the notes section of this video. Before continuing. You can also access it by opening up the hard copy of this presentation, which is also hot linked in the notes section of this video, but is also found by going to spiritmediumlaura.com / capital L, capital O, capital A, -1 dot lowercase PDF. That will bring you to this presentation, and on slide 2 is the link, as you can see below, to the introductory video to this presentation. So intuition can be called modern magic because intuition is your soul speaking to you, and your soul is supernatural. Your soul brings with it automatic prosperity. As Joseph Campbell, PhD, the famed mythologist, in his book The Power of Myth describes it, follow your bliss and the universe will open doors for you where there were only walls. So the formula is follow your soul, which is also bliss or feels good, it's your intuition, and you will receive magic. Your life becomes more magical because it is your spiritual system leading you forward. And the love steps, I use love steps in many of my different classes, but in this particular system, to achieve abundance, to achieve alignment with your soul, to live more intuitively, which is good also for mediumship, but also for luck or improving your abundance, the following steps apply, or the following definition for the acronym LOVE applies. Let go of fear, which is your ego trying to control things. You ever feel like you're compulsing over something, trying to square root it, trying to control it, trying to fix it? That's your ego trying to control things and edging God out. So you have to let go to get anything in life. You literally have to let go first. You have to love your life exactly as it is, leave resistance behind, and learn how to be so you can see. What I mean by seeing is you can't make choices. You can't use your power free will if you're in the mode of resisting things, if you haven't let go first. So when you let go of fear, let go of the ego, you will be able to see things better and make objective and detached choices. The O of the word love for abundance and soul alignment is to open what you love to do. Do what you love to do your purpose on earth, your dharma, and abundance will automatically follow. The V stands for vibrate at a higher frequency. The higher frequency or highest frequency of love, which is your soul's purpose. And the E stands for embrace the flow of God. And I have another acronym there, which stands for guidance, opportunities, and destiny. No flow till we let go. You cannot flow in your life. You cannot follow guidance. You cannot open opportunities nor achieve your destiny till you learn how to let go. So that puts us back up at step 1 again. So it's a circle, right? It's not a linear process. It's a ongoing, all systems engaged at once process. However, we will learn it in steps today. We're going to focus in on the L step for letting go. The tools in the course will include archetypes, the entire course, archetypes, affirmations, meditation, symbolism, and other energy tools and principles. Again, it aligns you with your soul for prosperity and psychic development. And by the way, the word psychic in Greek means soul. So when we follow our soul, we're following our sixth sense, our non-physical sense, but oddly enough, or surprisingly enough, our most powerful sense. So you want to be powerful, follow your soul. So we're going to focus in, as I mentioned earlier, on the L step, which is letting go of fear or ego. It will help us awaken our awareness to things. As I mentioned earlier, if we are in fear, we're not aware enough. Our consciousness is so wrapped up in trying to control things, we really don't choose. We're only reacting to things or situations in our life. Okay. It will also, this chapter, this lesson will help you identify and heal your primary life resistance pattern. Find and release your karma, and you will have exercise and homework. And interestingly enough, you can always go back to this when you have hit another wall or roadblock, because our karmic life resistance pattern tends to come up over and over again. We may clear it in one area, then it comes again. It's our dark side. See, so you can always come back to this in the future and do the exercises of the whole course. The whole course needs to be done again from time to time when you hit a new block. And so this slide is just to summarize, let your problems fly up into the sky. Nice thought for today. Okay, so this is also calling upon the spiritual law of non-resistance, which is probably one of the most important spiritual laws that exists. And a spiritual law is a law or principle that never changes. And it's a classic energy law. That means that the universe, from our universe, our three-dimensional consciousness, these laws apply. And the law basically is what you resist persists. And when you learn how to let go, learning to love your life is just as it is, learning to be, so you can see to choose versus lose, you will let go of your karmic addictive patterns which prevent you from living in bliss. Eckhart Tolle it this way. Eckhart Tolle, famed author and philosopher. What you fight, you strengthen. Okay? And what you resist persists. So if you start to think about things going in your life that you don't like, and you start to compulse over them and try to figure out strategies of how you're going to get around this, you're just going to stay stuck. Okay? And I may be saying this today, and you may be jogging your head, bobbing your head up and down, saying, yeah, that's so true. But believe me, I promise you, you will forget this. You will need to review this again, because I know that I have, and I always do. Even though I'm teaching this material, I'm just as human as everyone reviewing it, and I am constantly relearning the wisdom of this channeled material. So don't you forget it, okay? Come back to it when you need it. Here's a little poem I wrote. Learn to be so you can see. It's only then that you can be aware, alert, and truly free to live your life abundantly. So the concept is, when you let go of fear, you stop controlling things. You begin to see things clearly. You become more aware. Then you can start to use free will. Then you can use your free will. We all think we're making choices. Most of the time, if we have not developed spiritually, we are not making choices. We are reacting, and we are playing out tapes that we got in early childhood that were planted there according to our soul plan for this lifetime, our soul contracts for this lifetime, so that we could learn out of them, come out of them, free ourselves to use free will, to choose happiness over sadness. You begin to enter the now, which is a playful state of flow, the higher vibration of miracles. And here's another quote by Eckhart Tolle from his book A New Earth, Awakening to Your Life's Purpose. Acknowledging the good that you already have in your life is the foundation for all abundance. So the attitude of gratitude, which I'm sure all of you have heard about by now, it's overused a bit. It's overused, the term, but not the concept. Most people know about it but forget to use it as well. So it can't hurt to say it again. Attitude of gratitude is a very powerful attitude to have indeed. So here's a good story about how this all works. As I was trying to write this presentation a long time ago, I was forcing myself. It was a beautiful Sunday afternoon. All my friends were out having fun, and I wanted to take a break. But I sat there and forced myself for 4 hours to try to create the content without any inspiration. Everything I wrote was trite, had nothing to it. Finally, I said, I have got to get out of my office. I left and went to take a walk in nature. As I was out in nature, I started to recenter, started to relax, started to let go. And then suddenly the material for this chapter was channeled to me in just 10 minutes, like a huge download, as I completed the walk. When you are in resistance, you are blocked from divine flow, abundance, and creativity. When you love the now, you awaken it. Okay, so always put love in your life, what you love to do. Don't be forcing yourself. That's a sign that something is wrong, that you're in resistance. So when you're in resistance, you're disconnected from yourself, your soul. Well, here's a beautiful quote about being yourself. I don't know how many of you have heard of Anita Moorjani, Dying to Be Me. This is a book she wrote, Dying to Be Me, My Journey from Cancer to Near Death to True Healing. Wonderful book. And here's a quote from this book. Being myself allows the wholeness of my unique magnificence to draw me in those directions most beneficial to me and to all others. And this to me means being or living as your spiritual self, your soul. You will be led to those directions most beneficial to you and to all others. And she says that is her unique magnificence. We all are uniquely magnificent spiritual beings. All of you. All of us. When you're living in an intellectual state, that's when your ego is trying to control things. You're out of the now. Okay? So when you're thinking too much, you're analyzing, some of you may wake up in the middle of the night and you start to compulse over a problem at work or a relationship problem. That's your ego trying to control things and keeping you up at night, right? That's out of the now. When you enter the now, you're living at a heart place, a soul level. Okay? And this place you can let go, you're loving, intuitive, and then you enter the guidance, opportunities, and destiny, God flow, which is very benevolent to you. So when you wake up in the middle of the night, you start to compulse. One of the things some people have learned to do is meditate when you do that. Try to meditate in your bed. A good way to do this is sun pose, the sun, I think it's the sun worship pose from yoga. I'm not sure of the name of it, but you're lying down flat on the bed. Your palms are turned upward and your arms are laid along the side of your body. You just basically focus in on the now, and usually you'll fall off to sleep. So the heart is the now. It's the soul. It's the benevolent place. The head is out of the now. It's the ego controlling. It's the I'm going to get nowhere in a hurry place. Okay? And so the challenge is to move from fear to love. If any of you have read A Course in Miracles or studied it, that is the theme of that work, is moving from you as an individuated consciousness to love, which is the Christ consciousness, which is connected and fearless. So the challenge in life for all of us is to trust or love the heart, okay, so that our head will follow fearlessly in its benevolent flow. And it doesn't mean we don't have an intellect, nor does it mean it's bad to think. It just means that thinking is a tool. It should not be the primary mechanism to lead us forward. Our intuition should be, particularly if our intuition is coming from a cleared space out of resistance. So what are the symptoms of resistance? Well, one of them is feeling disconnected from source, but how does that feel? Well, unhappy, anxious, shameful, jealous, anger, mostly negative emotions. Look down this list. Bitterness, resentment, insecurity, procrastination, being uncentered, thinking rather than being, confused, compulsive addictive behavior, boredom, impatience, frustration, tenseness, fearful. Did I say fearful before? I don't think so. Irritable, anger, anxiety. So this is a short list. I think the list can go on and on and on. Basically, when you're not feeling happy, your dark side is in control, and you are out of the now. You are out of your soul. You're out of alignment with your soul and love, and you're living at an addictive, fearful level of being disconnected from source, God, or love. So now we're going to begin our exercises. And the first thing that I would like us all to do is to get ready. If you're working on your own, you probably want to take a longer meditation, let go meditation, maybe 8 to 10 minutes. You can find a nice one on YouTube, perhaps. But if we're working in a classroom live, we're going to take a moment to uncross our arms and legs and take 4 to 5 deep breaths from our abdominal area, releasing and relaxing into it. And while all those following this video start to take your deep breaths, I will continue with the steps. Open your intention for this session. We'll begin with this prayer. Thank you, O Infinite Spirit, for providing me a healing, releasing, and transformative session in highest love and light. And so it is. And now I would like all of us to vibrationally align. Imagine that you're sending your energy out to meet the class, or if you're working alone, to meet your spirit guides and angels. Visualize their energy and your energy blending together. And now we are about to engage in our session. Please receive entirely the information that comes in for you during the next exercises. So the first thing we're going to do is list 5 to 10 things that you absolutely adore, love to do. You may like playing with your baby. You may like to go to the gym and work out. You may like to walk on the beach. Whatever it is, here's a few more things. Pet your cat, play with your dog, call a friend, go out socializing, play sports, listen to music, go for a walk, cook your favorite dish, do your favorite hobby, and so on and so forth. And so, when you are not feeling good, when you're in those symptoms of resistance I reviewed a moment ago, it's very simple. You're just feeling anxious, upset, unhappy. Pull out your list of what you love to do, or just think of your list of what you love to do, and then go ahead and do it. Sometimes when we're in a very distressed time in our life, we need a list to call upon, because when we get despondent, we forget. So now I'd like you all to stop the video and make your list now and enjoy every moment of it. Welcome back. And now we're going to continue our list making. We'd like you now to make a list of 1 to 5 biggest problems, struggles, or traumatic conditions in your life. These should be thematic or a recurring kind of thing. These are resistance patterns. Okay. So for example, you find you're always abandoned by somebody. Okay. Well, maybe you're always addicted to something. Okay. Maybe you're always in abusive situations. Maybe your problem, your chronic problem is a physical disability, or maybe a chronic health illness or ailment. Maybe your issues are in the emotional realm, or physical or economic instability. Violence, rape, gangs, war, Holocaust, emotional loss, told you're not good enough, bullied, maybe you think you're ugly, maybe you really are disformed. Doesn't mean you're ugly. Okay, write down your biggest, stop the video now, and write this down. Take your time with it. And when you're done, I will meet you on the next slide. Welcome back. And so now I would like you to think a little bit about the resultant pattern from these traumatic life problems. What's the result of your life problem? Maybe you could list 1 to 5 things, or maybe if you hit it right at bullseye on the mark, you only list it once. But let's say that your biggest life problem is always there's never been enough money. So the result is you have a bankruptcy in your pattern of work. You may hate your work. You may always find you're out of work. You may find you never can find work. Do you think that that's because there is no work? I'd like to correct you. It's because you are dealing with a life problem that you keep perpetuating because your consciousness, your soul, would like you to rise above it and heal it. That's what this is all about. There is no objective reality. There's only a reality we're shaping through our gestalt of karmic patterns. And so maybe yours is a lack of genius. Maybe you think you're stupid. Maybe you think you have no talent. I've come across people like that, clients that say, oh, I have no talent, I have no creativity. How could somebody have no talent? Each of you has tremendous amount of talent. You just don't know what it is if you're saying that, or you don't believe you have any. Okay, let's say that your resultant pattern is always being in abusive relationships because of being abused. See? Maybe your resultant pattern is having bad luck because you had a rough time of your earlier time in your life. Maybe your karmic pattern is chronic health issues. And it's difficult to understand why, because perhaps you were born with them. Okay, maybe yours is addictions. And maybe your parents were addicted to something, and so you became addicted as well. Maybe not. Maybe it's at a deeper level. Maybe your karmic resultant pattern is low self-esteem, no self-care. Stop the video now and see if you can think of your resulting life pattern from your problems. Okay, welcome back again. So what is the good of this life problem? You may be thinking to yourself, what is Laura speaking about? What good could possibly come from this problem that caused all these other problems? This trickle down or domino effect of problems. Well, this is the spiritual nugget. This is the spiritual get from all of this. Each problem is your power. Each problem holds within it the seeds to you, your greatness and your magnificence, if you learn how to stop resisting it, and first step, begin to become grateful for it. For example, my client, for example, I don't remember if I have one that is alcoholic, but let's just say I have a client who's alcoholic. This client hits rock bottom. Finally is forced to enter a 12-step program. And then in the program, this person becomes so evolved that he or she becomes a sponsor and then starts to counsel others. And you see how this terrible, terrible disease became this person's power, because this person now becomes the counselor. Another example, my client lacked self-expression, for example, and is upset because her healing certification had no brand recognition. So she starts saying, oh, I can't get anywhere because my healing certification that I went and spent all this money for, the creator of it never made a brand recognition for it. So now I can't get ahead. Well, actually, her underlying pattern was she never had self-expression growing up. So therefore, she kept attracting situations which would encourage her to express herself. Now, until she saw the opportunity in that, it was a problem. But actually, it was an opportunity to create her own brand, to express herself. This is an actual clear, remember. And her problem then became her power because she realized she had created the situation herself by her soul. So she would be stimulated and encouraged to rise and evolve and create her own brand, her own business brand. And so we are now going to let go of our biggest life problem. So I'd like you, before we begin, just to look at your lists again. And if you don't have this set up properly before we go into the meditation, you need to find the big struggle. Okay? Because we're actually going to release it right now in a guided meditation. Okay? I'd like you to just uncross your arms and legs and sit back in your seat. You can close your eyes. Imagine a beautiful field in front of you. And this field has fresh wild grass blowing in the wind. Imagine the sound of that wind and how peaceful it is. Off in the distance you see majestic mountains, and everything is quite beautiful. And as you look off into the distance, you start to notice the shapes of people moving towards you. And as they get closer, you start to recognize family members and friends. And each of them, oddly enough, is holding their own helium-filled balloon. Each of those balloons is a beautiful color, and each of those balloons is blowing effortlessly into the air. And each of those balloons is held by one of your close family members and close friends. Each balloon holds on it a word, and each word symbolizes your big life resistance pattern. So if it's money or if it's insecurity, whatever it is, see your words on your balloons. See your loved ones standing in front of you, now closer, holding these balloons. They're all smiling at you. And now, count of 3, something will happen. 1, 2, 3. All at once, everyone releases their balloons. All your family and friends release their balloons respectively. And all the balloons holding your power, holding your problem, is now floating up into the air to a higher power to be handled for you. So what has happened now is your balloons have released your problems into the air so that a higher power will handle them for you. All of your loved ones turn and look at you, smiling and say, "Is handled by a higher power, handed up to and now to be handled by a higher power." Relax. And so you feel very light, you feel very relaxed, because your problems have now been handed up to a higher power. You may do this meditation over and over again, and each time you do it, you may assign to your balloons different problems. and it will work just as well. And so, what is your soul resistance archetype? We spoke about that earlier. I'd like you all to uncross your arms and legs and take a few deep abdominal breaths. We're going to now, using an archetype, discover our primary soul block. So what I'd like you to do is listen to me read off the following numbers. The one that pops out at you is the one that you need to write down on your piece of paper. If you do not yet have a piece of paper, stop the video and get a pen and pad. So it's regularly handy right next to you. Here we go. 3, 4, 2, 1, 6, 5, 7. Out of the list of numbers, which number popped out at you? The number that popped out at you is the correct one for your pattern. Now I'm going to do the numbers in a different way. I'm going to read them chronologically and see what you get this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. What number popped out at you? Hopefully it was the same number. If not, I'd like you to take the number from the second review of numbers. That will be the clearest one for you and your soul block pattern. On the next slide, we'll find out the meaning of these numbers and what to do with them. So now I'm going to read off the definition of each of these. And I'd like you to think about that, how it relates to your soul's resistance pattern. And if you can relate to it as meaning something in your own life. And so the definitions for the numbers you just chose include the following disconnections or blocks. If you chose 1, you feel disconnected or blocked from Source or God or Spirit. 2, you'd be disconnected from your intuition or psychic gifts. 3, you would be blocked in your expression of truth, speaking your truth. 4 would be love, feeling love, getting love, giving love, blocked in that area. 5 would be your sense of self-esteem, your power, success quotients, your ego. 6, creativity or sexuality. Perhaps you were sexually abused and you get stuck on this particular block, or you've always told your whole not creative, or you feel you're not creative. So that would be your soul resistance pattern. And 7, which is quite common, is feeling scarcity in terms of resources to do something, get something done, or money. That would be 7 is scarcity in money or resources. I hope that the number that you chose resonates for you. Please do not change what you chose. Please do not overthink it. The number that you picked, when I read the numbers off chronologically from 1 through 7, is the correct number for you. But in the exercises as we continue, there will be opportunities for us to alter and or refine this. But please do not do this now, as doing it now will only evade or ruin the process. And so what I'd like you to do is a let go affirmation here to help you let go your issue. Again, if you need to refine this, you can always do this later for the new one, or complementary block that you might discover later, as we will be doing exercises on this. But if you chose number 1, then your affirmation would be, I am Source. So you're just saying the opposite. Instead of being blocked on the area of Source or God or connecting to God, your higher power, you're going to say, I am Source. If you picked number 2, which was intuition, you say, I am intuitive. Pick number 3, I am expression. You pick number 4, I am love. You pick number 5, I am me. You pick number 6, I am creative. And if you pick number 7, I am secure. You may stop the video now if you need to write down something or think about this a little bit more. In a moment, I'll meet you on the next slide. So we are going to use this affirmation in part of our healing process for step 1 of the 4-step love process for soul alignment and abundance. Okay. So now what I'd like you to do is use this affirmation in a meditation. I'd like you to get comfortable, uncross your arms and legs, sit back in your seat, close your eyes. I'd like you to start focusing on your vision field as you breathe, your vision field behind your closed eyelids, as you breathe from your abdominal area. Good. So I'd like you now to repeat your let go affirmation over and over, like a mantra. I am love, if that's yours, or I am secure, or I am source, whatever yours is. You may do that for about 5 minutes on your own right now, and in class we'll do it just a moment or two. In a moment, I'll meet you on the next slide. Here are some other ways to let go. Let's say that you want to burn something on a piece of paper. So you write down what your block is, and if you want to release it, you burn it and you release the ashes to the wind. It's an ancient ritual which works because it's an archetype. It's a ritual. So affirm in writing what you want to release on a piece of paper, burn it, and release it. It's like a prayer, but it's an active prayer. Another way to release and let go is to light a white candle and pray. And you just burn it down safely. You can use a small size candle, votive size. Another way is to send the situation that you're thinking about pink light. Simply visualize the thing you want to release and shower it with pink light until you see it disappear. Pink light is releasing, healing, and transmuting. At a miracle level, another light would be violet light. Pink light or violet light, depending on your belief system, either of them is of the highest vibration and frequency. Now, these all sound a little bit symbolic. Other people use emotional freedom technique, breathing or breath work, hypnosis, guided meditations. I'm using mostly guided meditations, but on the V step of the love formula for soul alignment for abundance and mediumship, I will be using a clearing energized meditation. It will actually clear our blocks from us, one chakra at a time, using affirmations. But this first step is releasing in a smaller way. So now we're going to do some message exercises in the class, and you're doing this on your own. Please find somebody to work with to do the following. The class facilitator will assign partners with which to work during the class time. And the facilitator will choose one person in the group to start reading for out loud. As the class each works on their partner's messages. And the messages should include the following. The same exercises we just did a moment ago, but now we're doing it with spirit's involvement. What is your life's biggest problem? What is the resulting pattern from that problem? What is the good that came from it? What is your major block archetype, numbers 1 through 7? What do you love to do or should love to do to help you switch to higher vibrational levels? And ways to release your patterns. These are customized answers for you. So the facilitator will go from one person to the next around the group, and the following will happen. The first person that the facilitator reads for will then go back into the group and and also somebody in the group will be assigned to be working with the person that the facilitator is working on. So when the facilitator is done, the person who was assigned to work with the subject of this reading will now give their take on these answers. And so we will go to the next person. Facilitator reads for that person, and the partner assigned to that person then answers what they had. Now, depending on time, we may have to eliminate some of the students' responses, some of the partner responses, and just let the facilitator read out loud. But of course, you can all work together in the support group, which is on Facebook. It's the Soul Psychic Healer Support Group on Facebook. Find your partner there, and you can give your answers at that time if we run out of time. But if we have more time, then we can allow the couples in the group, those that have been partnered off, to read for each other about what was just mentioned and other current life issues on other subjects, mediumship, or anything that anybody wants to work on that has to do with their development as a spiritual and psychic being. The homework is to do all the exercises again that are in this lesson. Join the Soul Psychic Healer Facebook support group to work with other people in these training tracks, and also anyone who's joined from Facebook that's interested in the tags I've assigned to that group. If you need more help with this, I am available for one-on-one coaching, makeovers, and mentorship programs. One-on-one coaching is 1 hour in length. It's a singular session at full rate. A makeover is 4 sessions at 25% discount of time with me. Mentorship is a 10-session package at 33% discount. And you can also become a Master Certified Soul Psychic Healer by completing all 4 courses in this training track. The first one being Soul Alignment, the second one healing, the third one being Clairvoyance, and the fourth one being Mediumship. My phone number is 954-465-7338, or you can email me at laura@spiritmediumlaura.com. I want to thank everybody for tuning in today, and I look forward to seeing you again and in the future. Namaste.